Hello, and thank you once again for joining me on this video and the videos I've been putting on over the last couple of days. And what I'm doing in these videos are basically sharing my thoughts on things you need to have to be able to stand out in the workplace. And we all know that, look, the reason why you want to stand out in the workplace is not because standing out in the workplace is an end on its own. You want to do that because you're hoping to stand out in the workplace because it's going to help you accelerate your career growth, increase your visibility within the workplace where you live or even within your industry. And really, you want to be recognized for the value that you really bring to the workplace in form of the promotions and the salary increases you get. Now, if you're finding me for the first time, obviously an introduction is in order. My name is Topola Akinshile, and I've had the blessing of working across multiple countries with different languages. I've worked in Spanish speaking, English speaking, and French speaking countries. I'm currently a C-suite executive at a multi-country operation at the moment. In addition to that, I'm also the founder of the Workplace Multipliers Business School, where we work with career professionals who want to win at work and in life. Now, let's get into today's conversation. Over the past couple of days, I've already established the three things that you need to stand out in the workplace. And in the last few days, we've been talking about one, and that is your radical focus on the right result. Now, today, I feel I would be remiss in my responsibility to you by not establishes a couple of things in the conversation we're going to have today. Now, one of the things which you've already established is that the responsibility for your career growth, the responsibility for you to focus on the right result lies entirely with you. You cannot leave that entirely up to your supervisor. And like the example I gave, whereby I had a situation in the past whereby I had a supervisor who gave me, as it were, the terms of reference, the objectives. But really, it turns out that those objectives were not really the objectives that the organization really wanted me to drive. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give you a couple of questions that I believe you can use to engage your supervisor as a way of eliciting the right questions, the right objectives from your supervisor. Don't be surprised. Not every supervisor has that skill to be able to correctly and accurately articulate what it is you should be focusing on. Now, the first question that you can use to, especially when you get into a one-on-one conversation with your supervisor, the first question you can use is this: what kind of results are you hoping to see from me in the next? And then you give the time frame. Now, the beauty about this question is that it sort of gives your supervisor a sense of control over the whole situation. You're saying, what kind of results do you want to see? Really, you're not telling him and what you have to realize is that when you finish this sort of questioning conversations with your boss, you need to document whatever it is and then send it to your boss so that your boss validates it. So this is sort of like creating an open-ended question loop whereby you're asking your boss, what kind of results are you hoping to see from me? But you sort of want to box it by putting it within a time frame. So it could be within the next 3 months, within the next 6 months. If your appraisal period is 6 months, I would recommend you use the 6 months time frame. Now, that's all. That's the first question you can use. The second question you can use is, how would we measure my success in this role? Now, this question approach is actually wonderful, especially if you're taking up a new role or you're joining a new organization. It sort of helps you create a good platform, a good background for a mutual understanding in terms of how both of you see the role that you're supposed to be performing, and which is why the way the question is structured is, how do you think we should measure? Meaning that both of us collaboratively, we should be able to see, okay, this is what success is in my current role. So that's the second type of question you can use. A third type of question that you can use, this one actually leverages more on the fact that you're looking at your boss beyond, you want your boss to position, to see him or herself as more than just being a director, but also being a mentor. And the question is this: is there anything specific you like me to focus on or avoid? Now, the reason why this question works, especially when you're working with supervisors, is that you're giving them the benefit of the fact that they have a bigger view in terms of how the organization is and how things play out. And so what you are more or less telling them is that you want them to come from the position of people, someone that has a lot more understanding of the dynamics of the workplace, the dynamics of what you're doing, and the overall direction of the organization. So that's why you use this sort of questioning. The fourth question which you can use is pretty simple. It's just this: so what do you see as my biggest priorities right now? The beauty about this sort of questioning is that you are not boxing your boss within a time frame directly by, for example, saying 6 months. You're not being specific, but by saying right now, it sort of gives a sense of fluidity in terms of how he's defining it. And this sort of question is the kind of question you can adopt as a way of doing a regular check-in with your boss. Oh, are there specific priorities you want me to focus on? That sort of thing. So the question, I'll repeat it just so that we're clear on it, is, so what do you see as my biggest priorities right now? Now, the final question I'm going to give to you is not really a goal-oriented question or objective setting question. But the reason why this question is important is you have to realize that one of the things that accelerates your movement within an organization is when the results that you are delivering aligns with the overall direction which the organization is pursuing. And it's very, very good if you can align whatever goals and objectives collectively with your supervisor, align it with what the overall organization direction is at a particular point. And the question is this: does this, that is, whatever it is that your boss has communicated during your questioning, etc., and things like that, does this align with what you are hearing from the team or the company as a whole? Effectively, you are more or less using your boss as the fly on the wall. That, okay, so based on what you've been hearing from the rest of the team in terms of how I'm working, or from the rest of the organization in terms of how you, does what we've just talked about, does it align with what it is that you really, really are hearing, and that's and what the organization is. And the beauty about these 5 questions that I've given to you is that, look, if you practice this question with your boss or your supervisor, it is very, very much likely that most of the time you'll be focused on the right results, not just the right results for your supervisor, but the right results for the organization, ensuring that there is mutual alignment between what you are delivering within your team and at the same time what the whole organization wants to see and reward and recognize during that particular season. Now, by way of update, I am actually putting together a workshop during which I'll do a comprehensive dive and a comprehensive conversation training workshop on some of these things that I'm talking about. The workshop is going to hold on October 12th from 3 p.m. West African time, 10 a.m. Eastern time. It's going to be a 3-hour workshop. And the reason why it's going to be a 3-hour workshop is it's going to be focused primarily on implementation. And the goal and the expectation really is that on Monday, when you show up, you're basically going into implementation phase. And over the next couple of weeks, people can actually see the transformation and the uniqueness and the sort of results that you deliver. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave information about the training on the comment section somewhere around surrounding this video so that you can just sign up for it. And I really, really look forward to seeing you on the inside and being part of the training. Once again, it's on October 12th. Thank you very much for joining me on this video, and I want to wish you a great day.